It's not product improvement. That's surveillance with a corporate excuse. Your TV logged it, packaged it up, sold it to an advertiser before you even hit the next episode. One automaker system was logging your vehicle's speed 25 times a second. You didn't check a box that said, hey, save everything I say for the next 5 years. It was already turned on the moment you plugged in the device. I just don't understand how this overreach continues to happen. The reason a lot of these things are so affordable, these products, is because you are the product. You know, every conversation you've ever had in your kitchen for the last 3 years, the birthday party, family dinner, that argument over what to watch on TV, all of it is sitting on Amazon servers right now if you've got an Echo. And guess what? You agreed to it. You just didn't know it. Buried in the fine print of the devices sitting in your living room, your bedroom, your front door. Well, they've all got these privacy clauses that allow companies to record your voice, track your daily habits, and even let employees review footage from inside your home. Your smart TV is one example. It's watching what you watch. Your doorbell is building a timeline of your life. I mean, intimately. Your car, well, it's logging your speed 25 times a second. And your voice assistant? That's the creepiest thing. It's been saving every conversation by default for as long as you've owned it. Well, today I'm going to walk you through the 5 creepiest privacy clauses buried in the smart home devices we all have. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to shut every single one of them down so that you can still enjoy them, but that you're not giving away your life to these people for no good reason. Because honestly, if you knew what you said yes to, you'd be already having the freak out I'm having right now. All right. Before we get into it, I want to remind you, we've got a newsletter. It's amazing. We send it out daily. It is the powerful tools that I use in life that we share with you. It's security tips, it's privacy warnings like this, and it's really cool tips on how to use your phone, for example. It's cyberguy.com/subscribe. If you don't already get it, that's how you can get it. And then 877-655-KURT, that's the toll-free number. You leave a voicemail for me with any question you have, and I will do my best to answer it right here on the podcast. Now, let's get into it. So most people, they assume their TV is just a screen, right? You turn it on, you watch a show, you turn it off. But here's the reality. Many smart TVs use a technology called automatic content recognition. You'll see it's ACR for short. It's essentially a system that watches what you're watching in real time and then reports it back. In Roku's privacy policy, it states that Roku will, through ACR technology, collect information about what you watch and when you watch. And in Samsung's privacy policy, it states that they will provide video or audio snippets of the program you're watching to third-party providers that use this information in order to return content or advertising synced to what you're watching. That true crime documentary you binged last Tuesday, your TV logged it, packaged it up, sold it to an advertiser before you even hit the next episode. Your TV should be for you, not for ad companies. Here's the next privacy policy that really freaks me out. You probably bought your Ring doorbell for one reason, to see who's at your front door, right? Maybe catch a package thief, or maybe just see that an Amazon delivery showed up, right? But here's what Ring is actually doing in the background that pisses me off. In Amazon's Ring doorbell's privacy policy, it states that it collects data about your interactions with our websites and mobile apps, gathers data about the geolocation on your mobile device, and more detailed collections such as device IP address, identifiers associated with your devices, types of devices connected to their or our services. Put that all together, and your doorbell can build a detailed timeline of your daily life. When you leave for work, when you come home, how often people visit, who visits, what they're carrying, what grocery store you shop at because the brand of the logo's on the bag that they can see with the camera, what devices are on your Wi-Fi. It's not just watching your front door, it's mapping your entire routine and life around your house. All of this data collection means that Amazon has access to your life routines, your habits, what's in your life, stuff that they don't necessarily need in order to tell me who's at my door. Does it piss you off? I just don't understand how this overreach continues to happen. And if your Ring account ever gets hacked, whoever gets in it doesn't just see your camera feed. They've got a blueprint of your life, your schedule, your habits, your network. The only person who should have that kind of information about me is me. Here's another scary clause. It's something that really surprises almost everyone when I tell them about this. When you use a device like an Amazon Echo or Ring doorbell, your recordings aren't just processed by software. Real people, employees and contractors can actually listen to them. In Ring's privacy policy, it states that, quote, a small number of video recordings are viewed by our research and development team to improve Ring's products, services, and technology, unquote. For Amazon Echo devices, quote, humans review an extremely small sample of your Alexa interactions to help Alexa, unquote. They frame it as a product improvement, making Alexa smarter, making Ring more accurate. And sure, I want my devices to work better, wouldn't you? But the trade-off here is that a stranger I've never met can listen to a conversation that I had in my living room or watch a clip of a private moment at my front door that I was never asked if I was okay with that. It's not product improvement. That's surveillance with a corporate excuse. Now, this next clause really should get you creeped out more than anything I've said so far. We usually don't think of our cars as smart home devices, but if it's connected to the internet, and most new cars are, it's collecting data on you just like everything else in your home, maybe even more. Here's the problem. The real privacy details are scattered and hard to pin down. So researchers at Clemson University and the University of Michigan tested what connected car systems actually pull behind the scenes. What they found is wild. They found out that one automaker system was logging your vehicle's speed 25 times a second. Not once a minute, not once a mile, 25 times every single second. On top of that, they found climate settings, seat adjustments, and location data all being collected that moment you start the engine. And here's where it gets ugly. That speed data, the researchers say it could be used to infer stops, turns, driving habits, even risky driving behavior. Yeah. You might be thinking, okay, maybe that's to help me drive safer. It's not. Their findings show that the data is being used for advertising, insurance, financing, and is shared with third parties. Think about that. Wouldn't your insurance company want to buy the data from your car the next time they're about to up your policy? Do you want to know why your premium just went up? Guess what? It could be the data from your car that is ratting you out, honestly. I mean, do you even know what your car is saying to the rest of the world? Jump out of your car back into the house. This is the craziest clause of them all. How long, let me ask you this, have you owned your smart speaker at home, like Amazon Alexa? 2 years, 3, 5? Now consider this. Amazon says that all of your voice recordings and transcripts are saved by default. Not for 30 days, not until you clear them. By default, they're saved indefinitely for as long as you've had the device. That means that if you've owned an Echo for 3 years, there are 3 years of your voice sitting on Amazon servers right this second. Every question you asked, every grocery list you dictated, every song you requested at a dinner party, every time the mic picked up a conversation, you didn't even know it was recording. The crazy part here is that you didn't choose this. You didn't check a box that said, hey, save everything I save for the next 5 years. It was already turned on the moment you plugged in the device. So now you know what's happening behind the scenes. Your TV, your doorbell, your car, your speaker, they're all collecting more than you've ever signed up for. Here's what to do about it. And it takes what? No time at all. Just a few minutes. This is going to be amazingly powerful for you. Number one, let's turn off smart TV tracking. We're going to go into your TV settings. Now, many TVs operate slightly different, but they're often the same. Go to your TV settings. You're going to find the privacy or advertising section. You're going to look for options like ACR that we talked about, viewing data, or interest-based ads. Turn all of these off. Now, on Roku, go to Settings, Privacy, Smart TV Experience, and disable it completely. If you got a Samsung, I have 2, 3 of them, look for Viewing Information Services and turn it off. That stops your TV from collecting what you're watching and selling it to advertisers. Now, let's take a good look at our apps. Off the app permissions and lock down the Ring app. Open up your Ring app right now. Let's go to Control Center and let's turn off sharing with third parties. Now, by the way, if you right now are listening, you're in your car, and you're like, wait, I didn't write all this down. Don't worry, it's going to be online. If you go to cyberguy.com, we have a section there for you. We'll get you squared away. And while you're there, by the way, on all of these apps, when you're looking at them, review the permissions for all the smart home apps you've got, especially related to the camera, the mic, location services, like who are you giving permission to your location for? Why? Revoke anything on any of these lists that don't need to be on. There's no reason a lot of these things have garnered the on switch. So limit always listening devices and delete stored recordings. First, we're going to go into the Alexa app now. Let's go to Alexa Privacy, manage your Alexa data, and what we're going to do here is turn off Help Improve Alexa. Yeah, we love you, but we don't need to help improve you. You've got enough help. That's the setting that allows human review of your voice clips. Sorry. Then delete your voice history, and you can set it to auto-delete or wipe it manually. Now, if you've got a smart speaker in a private room like your bedroom or office or even the bathroom, you rarely use it, hit that little physical button on the top. Mute the mic or unplug it completely if you don't have a mute button. No mic, no recording, no one reviewing it. Now, disable connected services and opt out of data sharing for your car. So if you've got an app associated with your car or you've got a screen inside your car, this is a trickier one because car manufacturers don't make this very easy. But here's what you can do. Go into your car's infotainment settings and look for connected services, data sharing or usage data, any of those words similar like that, but you're going to turn all those off. You could even go to your car manufacturer's website and look for a privacy request or opt-out page. Brands like GM, Toyota, and Ford, they all have those pages that can help guide you to this place. Some let you submit a data deletion request. It won't stop everything, but it will significantly cut down on what gets collected and then sold to others that you never even knew your car was selling your life to other people. I use these devices every single day. And I'm not telling you to throw them out because, I have them. I love them. But when I bought them, I did not agree to have my voice stored forever or for years. I didn't buy my car to have my driving habits sold to insurance companies or strangers at Amazon reviewing clips from inside my home. And neither did you. So here's the thing most people don't realize. The reason a lot of these things are so affordable, these products, is because you are the product. These companies make more money selling your data than they do selling you the device. That's the business model. And they're counting on you and me to never read that fine print. Sorry, we read it. Well, you didn't sign up to be surveilled in your own home. Now you know what's happening. and you have the tools to take back your privacy. What do you think? Drop a comment and let me know if you think we're on the right path here. If you've got any questions about any of this stuff, I'm happy to help you. You know how to reach us. Main thing, get the newsletter. It's got these tips in it already. Go to cyberguy.com/subscribe. It's free. Got a question? The number is toll free. It's 877-655-KURT. That is my name. You leave a voicemail. I answer it here on the podcast, and we make the world better together. I don't know who's measuring my blood pressure today, but somebody's got to, because when you just find out how big tech has pulled the blinders over our eyes on privacy and is manipulating all kinds of personal data out of our lives to harvest and get rich from our own details in life, it does piss me off. I'm sorry, it does. I know I agreed to it without knowing it by clicking the little yes like we all do. Game's up. Now we've got the power. See you soon.